Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. In our last lesson, we talked about adding pages to our vector document, how to manage the layers and the page sizes, and how to manage all the tools that we can use whenever we have elements from different layers. So for example, subtraction, intersection, and so on. But in today's lesson, we're talking about editing. So we're going to edit paths and pictures and shapes and texts. So let's go ahead and start our lesson with editing paths. So these two are our main path tools. So the pencil tool and the pen tool. Let's go ahead with our pencil tool right here. So as you can see, I can trace a line basically with my hand. It looks like it's handwritten because it doesn't follow any order. It just follows whatever I do with my mouse, like this. So this is what I just created. And if I double click on it, I can see that it is a path. So it is formed of nodes and vectors. So these are the nodes right here, as you can see. So I can just click on one node and then drag it in order to change what I just did. And I can also add a node. For example, I can add it right here like this, and then I can change it, and then I can double click on it if I want it to be straight, and then I can just manage its shape like this, for example, and I can go on other nodes and change it as such. So for example, I can extend this down to here and this one down to here. I can just have this be like this and so on. And as you can see, I just made a mess of the path that I created like this, as you can see. So this is what my new path looks like. Our next path tool is the pen tool, which is really different because it is more precise. So if I just click on it, I can do a straight line and I can decide where to have the next node like this. And it's always going to be straight lines, but if I want to have a curve, I have to press on the next node like this, and then I can just regulate the new curve like this. And so I can have new curves or just straight lines, and whatever I prefer them to be like this. You have to press shift in order to stop the creation of new lines or new curves. If I double click on it, you'll see every single one of my nodes. So these are the nodes. And as with the pencil tool, I can just go ahead and edit them like this. So I can change their position like this, as you can see. And then I can also decide if I want one line to be straight or not. So for example, this one line is a curve. So if I double click on this node, these two lines are going to become straight like that. But if I want them to be curvy again, I can just press on them like this. So we have a curve right here. As you can see, I have these 2 points that I can use to regulate the curve, and then I can also use the main node to drag it wherever I want it to be. Then of course double clicking to have it straight again. Right here on this side I have all the filters which we're going to see in another video, but just for show I can decide to change the color of the border, so I can have it go red like this, and I can have it go bigger like this, and I can also decide to fill it in with color. So right now it is red, but I can also decide another color, for example green. So this is our new shape like this. Now it is very similar to what we do with shapes. So for example, let's create a square like this. So this is our square. Okay. Now if I double click on it, you'll see that this square has nodes. So this here is a path filled with color basically. So I can add nodes as I did with the other path tools like this. And then I can just go ahead and change the shape like this and however I want it to be. I can also double click on one of the nodes and create a curve like this, for example. I can also do that here, or I can just have it go straight again. So double clicking, it is the same thing. And as you can see, I can manage everything related to the shape in order to create a new shape like this. And I can once again change its color and its border. And this one I have to activate the border like this. As you can see, it is very similar to the other shape that we created earlier, but this one was created from a shape and not from the use of the pen tool. Now let's go ahead and edit pictures. So let's upload the picture from here, from our computer. Okay, so this is our random picture right here. If I double click on it, you can see that it has nodes, but to better see it, let's go ahead and activate the border. Let's have it with a ringing color like this, for example, this green, and let's have it a bit thicker, for example, like this. Perfect. So if I double click on it, you'll see that the nodes are on this green path, which is the border. And if I go ahead and modify the nodes, you'll see that I'm modifying and altering the border and not the picture. So I can create a new border for it like this. So I can have it curve and then pointy here like this. And then I can decide where to move the picture, and you'll see that it has this orange square right here, so I can also manage its size like this. So as you can see, the path, so the border and the picture itself, they have two different systems that I can use to manage their sizes and their shapes like this. Okay, so I just created a new frame for our picture, and the picture was not altered at all. There was just an alteration with the border. Now let's go on and see our last editing tool, which is related to the text. So let's go here and let's create a text frame like this. Now let's select all of it. And as you can see right here in this window, we have the options for text. So we have the options for other fonts. So for example, OleoScript swash caps like this. I can also manage its size, its line height like this. As you can see, the height in between lines just changed. I can also manage the letter spacing like this and its orientation. So it can be on the left, in the center, or on the right. Down here we have our filters. So our fields, for example, we can have the words in red, and let's activate border and let's have it a bit thicker like this. Then let's also add a shadow like this, or maybe not. And as you can see, this is our text. But let's just stay with one of the words and let's have it on the left and really bigger, so that we can see our editing tool, which is this one, outline text, like this. So right now, these words are made of nodes. So if I double click on them, you'll see that they have nodes. So I can go here and extend these nodes, and I will be modifying, as you can see, the word with these nodes. So it just becomes a path filled with color like this. And as you can see, I can just create a new font with it basically, because I'm just managing all the shapes of the words based on the nodes that compose the paths in them like this. The last thing that I'm going to explain in this video is another option that you can see whenever you have more than one element. So for example, let's add a triangle like this right here. Now let's change its color. So let's have it go red with a border, for example, a black border, a thicker one like this. So let's just say that I need this triangle to be here in my final product, and that I have to move everything, but I want to be sure that the triangle stays right here in relation to the word. So let's just go ahead and select all of it like this. Then right click on the mouse and go to group. And as you can see now, I have a group. So this is being moved as a whole and not as the single elements. But then again, if I want to move only the triangle, I click on the right side of my mouse again and go to ungroup. And as you can see now, I have my triangle, which is independent once again. So let's revise what we learned today. We learned about editing paths with the pencil tool and the pen tool. We also learned how to edit the path of the shapes and of the pictures that we uploaded from upload image. We also learned how to edit texts and how to create a path from a text. And then we also learned how to group elements in order to move them together. That is all for today, you guys. Remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe to our channel in order to stay updated on our next videos in our video course about Vectr.